My name's Mark. I run a spot called the Fab Garage. Literally, it's my 3-stall garage at home. Let's check some stuff out. The first project we're going to be starting to work on here in this series is this right here. This 1961 Mercury Comet 2-door. You don't see a whole lot of 2-doors. Most of them are 4-doors. It is currently bagged. It was bagged about 15 years ago. And all right, what's up, man? Episode 1 here. What I want to try to accomplish with this episode was basically just to talk a little bit about the whole idea behind the concept of doing this video series, give you guys a little bit of insight, show you around the shop a little bit, show you, I don't have a real big spot, and basically just touch base with what kind of projects we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some suspension work, some chassis work, probably get into some sheet metal work. In fact, I know we will. I do have some sheet metal projects that I have to do. I'm not the best at sheet metal. I don't have a whole lot of fancy tools. I've got a few little tricks and a few little tips. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of, we thought, hey, why not do a video series where we highlight some actual garage builds and building quality out of a garage, where it seems like these days a lot of people think unless you send your truck to a big shop that it's not a quality build, or unless you send your truck to a big shop it's a piece of junk, or unless you sent your truck to a big shop it's not safe to go down the road, which is completely false. Yeah, there are a lot of hack builds out there. To me, when I see a lot of hack stuff, I try to look past what's hacked and maybe see like what direction they were trying to go with the build. And I mean, maybe you could possibly offer a little bit of insight instead of just bashing, because at one point, 25 years ago, my stuff probably wasn't safe to go down the road. I mean, let's be honest, I've had parts fall off. I've had friends that literally ran over their battery while going down the road. It's just a matter of, that's where a lot of mini trucking came from, and that's where everybody starts. Even in the hot rod community, a lot of people start with tinkering in the garage and building stuff out of the garage, and that's where the love and the passion comes from. And I think as a lot of people get older, they get a little bit more settled and a little, some foundation under them, and then they can afford to take stuff to the, big shops and get it built. Some people, they just have to save up and start that way because they're just, they have the vision, they have the want, they have the need, they have the drive to be, a mini trucker, or, have adjustable suspension or have something cool, but they just physically don't have the ability. I mean, everybody doesn't. It's not something that everybody is gifted with. It's definitely not something that everybody can do. I mean, if you have a real desire to learn, anybody can learn. I am certain with that. But some people just, that's not, they just want to cruise. They don't want to actually be part of the build, or they don't want, or don't have the time to learn and go that extra step. This is for those people that want to learn, want to better themselves, and want to just, pull out of their garage, hit the street, roll low, and all those that say, oh, you can't do this in the garage or you can't do that in the garage, want to, put a middle finger in the air and say fuck you as they're rolling. That was the whole idea behind this. I build, everything I build here in my garage. Plain and simple. I don't have a whole lot of fancy tools. I've got some stuff, and I do have access to some pretty cool machinery and some pretty cool tools, but most of it all comes out of here. And if I need help with something, I run over to a buddy's house and, get a hand, or I have somebody stop over and lend me a hand. I mean, that's just how it is. And the whole idea behind this video series was to show you, hey, look, you can build this cool stuff. You can build pretty much whatever you want out of your garage. I do have some cool builds. Like I said, this Comet that I've showed you guys, where I'm about to show you again real quick. That we're going to do a link system in. My F100, we're going to do some work too. We got some more work to do on Project Arrow here. And I have a whole nother truck outside that is going to be a full-on, complete, full build. And like I said, I got a couple cameras we're going to put up here in the garage so we can get some better angles. I also ordered another camera with a better microphone, so I don't have to use my phone. That's what I'm using right now. So we can try to just get things rolling. I just wanted to get episode 1 done. I wanted to get episode 1 out, so we could say hey and get things rolling. I mean, the drive to actually order the camera and set some stuff up and everything really isn't there unless things are going. So I wanted to get everything set up and get things rolling and say, hey, we're doing this. This is what we're doing. And, let's do it. Bottom line, if you want it, you got to do it. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Obviously, I'm going to show you a little shop tour here right quick. And that's going to be the end of episode 1 of the Fab Garage. If you like what we're going to do and you think you want to follow along, hit like, hit subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, or if I'm starting to do something in an episode and you're like, whoa, that ain't going to work, that's not going to be safe, feel free to, comment below, tell me what you think. Hey, and I'm not going to say I do everything perfect. I'm not going to say I do everything perfect the first time even. Sometimes I do something and I'll weld it up, or, I'll make something and I'll go to put it in and I'll look at it and go, nah, that kind of sucks. We can't do that. Tear it all out. Start over. That happens. And I don't want that to discourage you if you have that happen to you. But anyway, we're going to get things going, and we hope to see everybody in episode 2 coming out in a couple of weeks. All right, again, here's that 61 Comet. We got that one here in the shop. Again, aired down right now. We're going to get this up in the air, and we're going to work on getting that rear end and everything out of it. And then put to bed for the winter. Here's my 68 F100. We call it Project Apple Picker. This is the one we were talking about. I'm going to be doing some more sheet metal work in the back. Going to be redoing some things. Possibly doing a motor swap and some stuff under the hood. Maybe a little bit more interior work late this season, early in the spring. Get this thing a little bit more proper for some shows next year. I want to drive it a little bit more than I did this year, that's for sure. There's a better look at that Comet now that the air is out of her. Like I said, we're going to get this up. We're going to get that rear axle out, and we're going to get started on this. Right behind me here, and we walk up this way. Again, there it is. Project Aero. It's got that Ram 50 fender on there. It's got some Ram 50 sheet metal on it, but at the end of the day, it will be a Project Aero. Plymouth Aero mini truck. Got some different wheels. You can figure out what those are from on it. And like I said, the chassis under the cab is a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. I did some extra work under there. Notice it's got a factory hood on it. It does have a motor in it right now. I lowered the motor 1.5 inches. Everybody says they're doing these without Z, and I don't see how they're doing that. They're pancaking the bottom of the motor engine cross member. I chose to Z it and then to section the top of it and get the motor down so we can get a stock hood on there. We also redid the steering. It's got a rack and pinion in it instead of the factory gearbox, and we're going to be working on linking that steering together. We got mostly stock floor in there. We had to get a little bit in the transition, and we got to do some tubs. And we got mostly all stock floor, and here's a little quick look at the back of it. What I got going on back here. Bag on bar, typical wishbone, couple little pieces of jewelry, some bag caps with the Plymouth Aero insignia on them. But yeah, that is the whole garage. I got, my heater up there, got some stuff hanging on the walls. My whole garage is just a little 3-stall garage. Got all my tools over here. Oh yeah, it's not a big facility. I got a fender over there from a project I got to install tomorrow. I do not have a big shop by any means, but we're going to put some cameras up and we're going to work on getting some things going. So hopefully you guys follow us along and like what you see, and we do some cool stuff, not just by myself, but we do some cool stuff together. All right, guys, if you happen to be watching this and you notice some breath or something like that, just let you know it is cold in the shop right now. In the garage, looks like it's just under 40 degrees. Just because it is December, we are in Michigan, and it does get cold here. So, whoo! You might see my breath a little bit in some of these videos.